We're here in Lake Orion, Michigan. My name's Ari Curtis. That's Blaze. That's Mr. Manzo himself.
There we go. Division I Rejects with the most laid-back intro in our however many episodes that we've had.
But podcast history.
In podcast history. But we are here. Like Ari said, he's joining us today in person. And I think it's just nice because when you get people on the phone, it's a lot harder to just have like the regular casual conversation. I think a lot of it is just like you don't have the cues, like the facial cues to know. One thing is like you're always interrupting people. Yeah. I feel like I'm always, because I want to control the conversation. Obviously, I'm having an interview, but I feel like I'm stepping on people's toes sometimes. And I don't want to do that. I never try to, bother people like that. But there are just times where you don't know where to interject or where to kind of cut the conversation off. And there have been times where guys have tried to talk for like 10 minutes straight. Dude, I'm telling you, like I'll be sitting here hovering over the mic trying to they don't take a breath. And there's just some guys like that. And you know what? We love to have those guys on. They always have the best stories. But man, do they take a long-ass time to get to it.
When you cut them off, they're like...
But on today's podcast, obviously we got Ari with us. We're going to talk with him about his first year at Ellsworth Community College, repping the gear. I see you over there, Ellsworth Panthers. But after that, we'll talk kind of all over the place today. Nothing too crazy. I think a lot of the conversation has just been on this, like the NBA and because the playoffs obviously happen right now, the crazy fan situation that is going on right now. I think a lot of news outlets have picked that up because there really is not much to talk about in the sports world in general. I feel like hockey playoffs are going on.
Hockey playoffs.
We're not really a hockey pod, so I think we're going to stay away from that. But otherwise, we could just change into a hockey pod.
Take a whole new direction.
I don't think it's going to happen, but otherwise, talk a little bit about Dan Campbell and his decision to wear the race car helmet into the interview and why Joy Taylor was bashing him for no apparent reason.
Just a hater.
So we'll talk a little bit about the Lions and their kind of change in culture and change in actually having fun this year. And a ton of guys showing up to OTAs. I got to get the numbers for that, but basically almost all of them are OTAs. We'll talk about that later. And then we're going to dive into the NFC South today. I want to stay in the NFC. We're going to keep talking about these divisions. So what was the hesitation
NFC
there?
South.
What about them? Yeah, we already went NFC North and NFC West. So South, then we'll wrap it up with the East before we head up to the AFC.
That would have been a good one for me.
For the West. Yeah, that was good. I mean, most competitive division in football, we decided on last week's episode.
Big Kyler Murray guy.
Big Kyler. Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Right after Baker, obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That would have been.
I got both their jerseys.
Do you?
Oklahoma jerseys.
Oh, okay. The OG jerseys.
Yeah, the OGs.
Otherwise, nothing too much that is that's really going on headline-wise, but that's about it for today's pod. If you do enjoy, obviously, tell somebody about us. That would really mean the most. Otherwise, you can find us on YouTube if you're watching. Hello, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere. There's no escape from Division I Rejects. If somehow you're already still listening to this and you don't enjoy it, just act like you never listened to it before. And please, no bad reviews. We don't need any Joy Taylors. We don't need anybody like that. No negativity
one-star
here.
Yelp reviews.
No.
Don't be a Karen. Please don't be a Karen.
But let's get right into it. Ari, year one down. What is, I guess, the first thing I wanted to ask? I mean, did you enjoy it?
I did.
You did?
I did. I really did.
No hesitation there. You seemed pretty confident when it came up.
See, it was. It is. It's a real confident. Like it was pretty good. I mean, we've had our teams up and downs and whatnot through the Rocky Mountains or hard trails. But hey, we came out not as much with a record we wanted, but
what was your final record? If I ask?
I think we played 8 games. We only won 2 games.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
aren't isn't the national championship like today?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's playing?
I'm pretty sure I think it would be Iowa Western and Snow College. Which
Snow is insane. Yeah, I've heard of them before.
They got a lot of big Samoans on their team.
They're in Utah?
Yeah.
Where?
They're like 2 hours from Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'd heard of them before. I never knew the location.
They're really good.
Biggest thing heading in for you, what's one thing that heading in you had maybe a misconception about? Like you expected something and it was just totally wrong. I feel like there has to be a couple things like that going to a situation like you were in.
Well, I would say my weight definitely, or just like other people's weight, because I'm like in high school I was able to like play a 195 or like 205 and just kind of
still kind of bully kids.
Yeah, still kind of bully kids.
Even though you're a little slim.
Yeah, I'm slim. So I got the nice athletic build, as I like to call it. Okay, and I had a lot of 300-pounders. We had a lot of 300-pounders.
You ain't bullying no 300-pounder.
Nah.
No.
They're bullying you.
I can say this though. I've never been like just put on my butt. I've never been put on my butt.
No.
Never. Not even in
Really?
practice. I won't allow it. That's like the ultimate disrespect to me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Now, when you say never, you're talking about this year.
No, I'm talking about
Not
never.
Never been put on my butt.
Never been put on your ass
Never.
before.
Hey,
I can go through all my film and say proudly I've never been put on my butt.
probably.
Really? So I'll tell you this. When I went around, Coach Black's like our head coach at Lake Orion High School. When I went around, he was having me go to the middle schools and talk to them about high school football and things. And one of the first things I told the kids in middle school is like, you know, because they knew me as like, oh, like star running back, whatever. But like, you know, I was the first play of football that I ever had tackle football. It was Tyler Vestran, the linebacker. I was in 5th grade practicing with the 7th grade team. He comes through the line. I'm playing scout team running back and nails me, right? And I'm on the sideline. I told my dad I broke my arm. I didn't want to play football anymore. I was done, dude. I was done. I had one play. At tackle football, and that was it. I was like, I just want to quit. I'm good. I'm done. I sat out that practice, and I don't know what he did, but he convinced me to come back the next day. Grinded it out. By the end of that season, I was putting some dudes on their butts instead. You know what I mean? But the first thing I told all the middle school kids was that if anybody ever tells you they've never had a come to football moment, they've never been like put on their ass, or they've never been like, man, maybe this isn't for me, then they're lying.
Yeah.
That's the first thing so you've had one of those at least. There's definitely been a moment where it's like, you know what? This just what? Like
I have had a moment where actually it was this season. I wouldn't put on my butt, but it was still like one of those.
Somebody got you. You got.
Yeah, it was a good bell rung. Yeah. It was a good bell rung. And sadly to say, you know, Blaze scoring for the quarterbacks on this one, but it was almost by a quarterback.
Oh my God.
The court he was a hefty kid. He was a hefty kid.
Damn.
And it wasn't even from it wasn't my gap. Actually, the play, I think they.
How does that even? You come into contact with a quarterback? How does that even happen?
It was a down block, but it was a
Quarterback was down blocking.
Wait, it was okay.
The tackle was down blocking, right?
Yeah.
And the whole play was on the goal line, so it all got kind of.
So you're coming tight off of it.
Yeah, I'm coming tight off of it, and everything kind of closed up on the backside. And I saw the quarterback come through the line, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna scrape over the top real fast and see if I can come grab that.
Yeah, different plan.
And I caught a cramp mid run. And if
Classic.
you know me, all junior year catching cramps. And I caught one in the same leg. And I was running, I'm like, you know what? I just got to hit him because if I don't, he's going to score. I hit him. It was just all bad. I think I took a little bit more of that blow than he did. And then the worst thing about it was my safety looked at me. He goes, come on, Ari. You got he goes, lay his shoulder into him or something. I looked up, I said, dog, you ain't even help me out on this. You're supposed to be crashing down. We don't go.
Did he score?
He did.
Oh,
he did.
Man.
He did.
Dog,
so,
that is tough.
That was my welcome to college right there.
That was it.
Welcome to college. Yep.
I definitely had a few of those.
Getting welcomed by the quarterback.
Yeah, by the quarterback of all people. I think that's the funny part about that whole situation.
That was like one of those most. I thought I got up at that play and had to run off the field. I was like, this is great. Just
yeah.
It was made it worse was their sideline was like, ooh. I'm like,
This isn't a game.
This is a practice.
This is a game.
This is a game.
It was worse. Like I'm sitting there. I'm like, I hope that I did not just get run over. I look at film. I'm like, okay, I didn't get run over, but
the boys saw it.
They saw it.
Yeah, they reacted.
I'm like, that's definitely gonna go in his highlight film. So I will say, not every day do you just
bruiser.
Yeah. It was a real tough one.
So what do you weigh now?
Right now, I think I'm at 210.
210.
Yep.
So you've been on what, 15 pounds ish? Since like senior year, I'm talking.
Since senior year.
Yeah.
Yep.
15 pounds.
All those meals you cooking up.
Yeah, I gotta
seriously,
say,
dude.
Like
kitchen.
chef out here.
Seriously.
Sauce in the
You in a
kitchen.
culinary school?
I wish.
Do you?
I wish. I mean,
What do you want to study?
marketing. So marketing is my major. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
I'm big into the cars, as a lot of people know. I love fixing them, everything, but I want to do the more business side of them. So like my parents and my brother, they sell cars. My mom used to build for Chrysler. She used to build the back of the end of the truck.
In the family.
Yeah,
That's
but
sweet.
She actually got injured, so she couldn't do it anymore. And then my dad's just selling them, making good money. My brother's selling them, making good money. So.
Yeah.
Family business.
I was going to say, yeah. So seems like a pretty obvious route. And if you enjoy it, obviously, why not? I know you guys have a pretty stacked league, right? As far as your competition.
Yeah.
Best team that you played. Just straight off the top, like if you're just like, maybe these guys just passed the eye test, they were just nuts. Like athletes.
I would have to say Iowa Western because
Iowa
I will
Western.
say during the snow game, we were winning at halftime.
So you played both the teams that you think at least are in the national championship?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Why don't we do a quick lookup?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, go ahead, Blaze. Look that up. But go ahead and talk about Iowa Western, though, Ari.
Iowa Western, they're one good team. I will say that. I give them their props. They're one good team. They got 2 big tackles. One has really long arms and speed.
So like your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, even if you got a bigger guy like that, you might be able to. Just give the camera like one of these, like the bat. Yeah. There we go. That's all we need to see. Usually, you can give like a little. You keep him at bay with the big arms, but you get a big 300+ pounder with the long arms.
It was terrible.
That spells disaster.
It was
June 5th. What day is that?
That's tomorrow, I think.
No,
2 days.
A couple days.
Yeah, 2 days. Yep.
So is it snow in Iowa Western?
Give me a second.
All right, we got the stats guy on here.
Wow, this is like the weirdest article. All the words are just.
Anyways, Iowa Western, big tackles.
Yep. Dude just
I
had
think there's like freak athletes across the board, or what?
I wouldn't say freak athletes across the board. I would
No,
not say that.
really?
They're really well coached. They had some good athletes, I give them that, but they were really well coached. They were.
Okay.
Yep, they were.
Interesting. I feel like that gets lost for a lot of people. Their impression of a junior college football that gets lost a lot. I don't think people don't believe there are a lot of great coaches at the JUCO level.
There is. I will say that there is.
I mean, we've talked with Coach Garland twice now on this podcast, and he seems to know. He really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's gone to these coaching summits and done all these things, and obviously, 90% of the guys there have aspirations to coach at the next level, but you still get a lot of talented, especially young coaches that maybe just haven't had a chance to prove themselves. You know what I mean?
Coach Garland, I would say he's in his youth still. He's in his 30s, getting to his mid-30s, I think.
Okay.
He's a real cool guy. Still,
Yeah.
That's big dog right there. That's Papa D-line,
I love that, bro.
All right, I figured it out.
Here we go.
Hutchinson and Snow.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Snow, and the Snow is in there. Hutchinson's they're really good too. We got to go back and play them in this next season. So
Really?
we played the spring season.
Where
which
are they
is 8
from?
Games. Kansas. They're in
Okay.
the Kansas League. So and then the Jayhawk
They got
League too.
They got a bunch of really good teams in Kansas, don't they?
Yeah.
I want to say,
think-
though.
I'm pretty sure Alvin Kamara came from
From a JUCO in Kansas?
From a JUCO in Kansas. Yeah.
Really?
I think it might have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Indy.
Dude, I don't know, dude.
It
I
was
don't know
somewhere.
off the
One
top
of the
my head.
ones in Kansas though. He was. Yeah,
That'd be interesting to see a list of all the NFL guys that came from junior colleges. I really just don't
Cam
know
Newton.
many. Yeah, Cam Newton's an obvious one, but like I don't know like a big, a lot of guys. I'm assuming there's a ton of them. I feel like there has to be because I feel like there's a lot of guys that come every year. Not guys that are going to be first through third draft pick types, obviously, but guys that are just going to get picked up, undrafted free agent type. But yeah, I mean, what are you looking forward to going into year 2?
Really just getting my weight up. I just want to I feel like I have the skill set. So obviously I'm gonna keep working on that, keep grinding on that. Just because you have a skill set doesn't mean stop working on it. So keep working on my craft, get a couple more moves down in the arsenal. I actually got a whole move list in my phone. It's like about a list of like 20 to 30 moves.
Man's waking up in the middle of the night like, you know what?
He's like,
I got those one. I added some move. Yeah.
I actually have. I've had a dream of me like using a couple moves, and I wake up. I'm like, oh, if that
Put it on the
works,
list.
it might work.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
That's awesome.
did you do any like Aaron Donald knife training?
Yeah, no knife training for you this offseason or?
It's on the list.
It's on the list though.
You better put that on the list. All right.
It's on the list though. I'll head it down right now.
I need to see your feet like Aaron Donald going through that bag drill. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude.
How much is he? He's what, 280?
I think.
I think he's under 300. Yeah, I think he's under 300.
Yeah,
Dude.
It's a massive.
Dude. That is, I mean, that's impressive.
I think he's what is height? He's like 6'1", 6'2".
I want to say he's like 6'2".
I think he's like 6 foot. He's like a shorter guy.
I know he's right around, he might be 6'1", right around there. So I don't know, that'll be interesting. But year 1, I remember when we talked to you on the podcast, like the first time we had you on, and you seemed really excited, really upbeat, obviously like new situation and everything, figuring things out. And then talking to you a couple months later, you were like, man, this shit is real. The struggle is real. And like, I feel like now you've got, not that you didn't have the motivation before, but you've got all the motivation now to try and get out and get to that next level, right? So what is that like in going through that process?
So I would say that process is like you said, it's hard. It's very, very treacherous. It's a steep path.
Treacherous.
Very,
Wow. Oh, man.
Because you got to think about it. You're not just fighting, as my dad always says, or all my coaches have always said, you're not just competing against your teammates or like you're competing against everybody who plays that position you play.
Sure, yeah.
Because now you got to think about it. Not
Because that's the spot, right? That's the spot at the next.
spot.
Yeah, exactly.
So not everybody is like me, 6'4" and 210 pounds. Some people are like 6'5", 6'6".
What separates you?
Yeah, what separates you? So is it my speed? Is it your power? Are you a power speed rusher? You know, can you do both? Can you do just one? It really depends. So.
And it's crazy how specialized all of that has gotten. Even like a position like a defensive end type. Like even just within that like that position, there's these different hierarchy of like skill sets and all these different personnel, right, that are at that one position. So I think it's really
I didn't know that.
Interesting. Yeah. So
I never really like looked into it.
And you see guys at the NFL level, like if you brand and market yourself as a pass rusher and not a defensive end, those guys get paid way more.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a different skill set. Obviously, getting to the quarterback is the name of the game in the NFL because those are the highest paid players in the field. But, I mean, the defensive ends are like a close, like second or third almost, right? And for me, I just think that's really interesting. So it has this offseason for you kind of just been finding what your thing is and trying to just be the best at that you can be, something to market yourself to these, big marketing major guy. Mm-hmm. Something to market yourself to these other college coaches, like finding your thing this offseason.
So my thing for this offseason is definitely working on more of my speed rush, actually.
Okay.
Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest, so it's not like I'm finna run down somebody who's 390 pounds all the time. That gets very tiring. You tire yourself out quicker like that.
Yeah.
I found my way about just either using my speed to get around you or set you up with a quick inside move and go right back outside. Mm-hmm. Keep that quarterback contained in the pocket.
Yeah.
And, with me, it's just more so, like I said, keeping that speed rush going and keep my feet going, get everything ready to just be able to use speed.
So I'll ask you right now. I'm a Division I college coach sitting here across the couch, and I want you to give me your best pitch as to why I want you on my team.
Okay. Why you want me, you say? I would say you want me because, first off, speed rushers are
no eye
rare.
contact. This is already not good. That's it. I'm just messing. Go ahead.
So, speed rush is not just I don't call it just like a position. It's a technique.
Fair.
It's kind of like a form of karate, in my opinion.
Karate?
Yeah, karate. I would say
okay. Now the head coach is scratching his head. Yeah. Okay, but he's intrigued. He's intrigued, so explain.
It's like,
I say that because it takes a special someone just to use speed all the time. Because you got to really work on where you're pinpointing your attack at. You either racing a tackle to a point, which is when he's getting to his slide, his kick slide.
Yep.
Or you're attacking him with the speed and then using him to throw him off with like a quick move or like just a quick shimmy or something like that.
Yeah, because you're trying to time up his momentum. Because those offensive linemen are picking a point too on their slide. They're trying to they're trying to beat you to that same point usually.
Yep.
And so if you can, I've played a little bit defensive end. If you can use that momentum against them, obviously, shrug them off, get around, whatever. That's all about that. But back to why do I need you on my roster?
I would say you need me on your roster because I can offer more than just being a defensive end. I can play it back in the linebacker position and come off the edge like that. I've had film of me actually doing that.
Yeah, Blaze, were you here when we watched the film from the spring ball?
I wasn't here, but I watched it though.
Yeah. I think we definitely sent a couple kids to the hospital with those two clips, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually,
the quarterbacks were straight live, dude.
Yeah, you're taking them out.
That was ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that.
I would call myself more of
an
assassin on the field, kind of from the speed rush position. Yeah, I would call myself an assassin.
I like it.
So we're not going to see any like throwing the left tackle into the quarterback for a sack, like Khalil Mack kind of stuff.
Not for a minute. Not for a minute.
Khalil Mack will hold up an offensive tackle with one arm.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of grown man
strength. You see when he
strength.
flipped Tristan Wirfs?
Yes. Tristan Wirfs, who was almost making a case for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Starter on a Super Bowl team.
Right? Crazy. And one of the key components of their line, too. Not even just like happened to be there situation type guy. Mm-hmm. He was a stud.
He was like a speed rusher in the NFL.
I'm going to say, we got
like TJ Watt.
You got a pro comparison for me? Or That's a good question, Blaze.
I would definitely say.
We're talking like Von Miller.
Yep, Von Miller is one of my actually. So Khalil Mack of all-time DNs for me for this era right now, I would say Khalil Mack, Von Miller, and Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay.
I would say that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair.
I think that's a solid list. I think that's a solid
list.
Is
that like best or is that your favorite?
That's just my favorite.
Your favorite.
I say that because I can compare myself a little bit to Khalil Mack not because of the strength part. Because I'm getting there, I'm not gonna hold myself.
He's listed as like an outside linebacker.
He's listed
outside
linebacker.
He is, yeah, because he's a down linebacker. Yeah,
he can play on he can do that. He can play.
That's what I'm saying too. Like within, I was talking about that specialization. Like within that system, he fits very well. I think in a different system, he might not. He's still a superb athlete, but he might not have the same impact. You know what I mean? It's very interesting how specialized even those positions can get. And with Khalil, they do a great job of putting him in a position where he can succeed, which you need to if he's on your defense, because he's a key role in that defense. So I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty good. But finish me with your finish that thought about the roster spot. Why do I need you? We keep getting away from it. Continue to get away from it.
So I would consider myself.
Talked about karate. Talked about the speed.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I offer just more than just a defensive end position. I can be that guy who can play that outside linebacker, because in myself, I can cover. I've been working on it a lot more.
Yeah.
Because a lot of schools tell me, hey, we may need you to just not just be a DN. We may need you to do more than just play that. So
be that outside linebacker type, or like what'd you call it, like the star or something like that along those lines? Yeah. So
I can just play more than defensive end. In this day and age, I feel like you need to have multiple. You can't just be a one-trick pony. Mm-hmm. I'm not a one-trick pony, I would say that.
A great example of that is Isaiah Simmons.
Yep.
I mean, he's like the top, I feel like, example of that, because coming out of college, I think he was just almost listed as an athlete. Nobody knew where he was going to play, and he's been a key piece for that. Is it Arizona, right?
Yeah.
For that Cardinal defense.
Those guys are like, are they linebacker? Are they safety?
Exactly. And that causes a lot of problems for an offense, for a scheme, because you don't know where those guys are going to line up, and they can conceivably line up just about anywhere and make an impact on the game. So between that Arizona defense now is looking a little bit scary. Yeah. With Simmons, Budda Baker, you have obviously Watt and other defensive end. Why am I blanking? He's a stud.
He is.
Dang. Well, anyways.
Didn't he just,
what?
I thought he just left. One of them left, didn't they?
No.
No?
Not the really good one. Why am I'm blanking on his name? It's going to bother me. But Arizona defense is looking solid. But
you just talked about NFC West.
I know. We didn't talk about him though. But I did want to talk about our Lions a little bit. All right? Talk about our Lions a little bit.
Oh, God.
I love the Lions part
now,
of the show.
Okay, the Lions part of the show is always the best part. Now, I wanted to talk about Kerryon Johnson. Obviously,
right.
Was he released by the team or just cut? What was the
cut? Something.
I think we let him go.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's not on the Lions anymore. Eagles picked him up pretty quickly, right?
I did not know that actually until you told me that.
They didn't know he was on the Eagles?
I'm just finding this news out right now.
No, he got picked up pretty quickly. He's been with the Eagles for a little bit now, I think.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And so he's at OTAs with the Eagles, and some pictures get tweeted out from the Eagles OTAs. And Travis Fulgham, like some picture of Kerryon, like totally cheesing, like big smile on his face, whatever. And he replies, he was like, it's on here somewhere. But he goes, it was that funny? And he tags Kerryon. And Kerryon replies, he was like, bro, I haven't laughed in practice in years. Give me a break.
That is a big cheese.
Let me see that.
He said, I haven't laughed in practice in years. He said, give me a break.
Oh, man,
obviously a shot at like Detroit and stuff like that.
He's only been in the league for years.
True.
So
but I mean, maybe
just said ever.
Is it just Auburn too? Auburn's just no fun.
Maybe. I didn't think about that.
War Eagle just has no laughs.
War Eagle.
But so he tweets that he says, "Hey, I haven't laughed in practice in years. Give me a break." To which Fulgham replies, he says, "Forgot where you came from. My bad." It's not even that everybody knows. It's not even just a Detroit thing. Everybody knows.
MCDC hears the hate.
So now I bring this up because obviously people were not having fun in this organization, right?
At all.
Nobody was having fun. And so for me, I think that is probably, I mean, yeah, I want to win games. I want to do all this. I want the Lions to succeed. But like, at the end of the day, like if your guys don't enjoy being there and being professional football players, then I think you've failed as a coach. Yes. I really do. I mean, like even if you're winning games, maybe you can make an argument against it. But Patricia was not winning games. No. So I don't think we have to worry about that. Yeah, he was actually losing a lot of games. But
he's just stuck on opposite day all the time.
With Dan Campbell.
These guys out here laughing. We got Patricia making them run sprints.
Right. And I love the great story is TJ Hawkinson talking about how when he was drafted, and he talked to Bob Quinn, who was our GM, right? He's gone now, thankfully. Yeah. But he was drafted by Bob Quinn, and he was talking about how TJ was like very like professional, shirt and tie guy, just very well cleaned up and just very, like speaking wise, is very short and to the point, formal. TJ's got a personality to him. He's got a lot of personality to him. Yeah. And so 2 months after he was drafted, right before the season, Bob Quinn sat down with him and he said something along the lines of like, "You're not the same player I drafted."
Wow.
Like, first of all,
cares?
Screw you.
Yeah.
Second of all, like this dude's like starting to open up a little bit. He actually like TJ has a good time. Like TJ, I don't know if you like he dresses like hilarious. He's all like, great fashion on this dude.
Seen his
what
little like hairdo he's got going now?
The hair and the beard.
The flow and the beard.
The flow and I mean he's the character. He seems like a Miami, California type of vibe to him, like at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's awesome. But I think if you don't foster that environment with your guys, I just don't see how you could have a successful program. I feel like a lot of these guys, the Chiefs are a great example. Those guys genuinely enjoy playing with and for each other. And I thought that was really cool because you have so many superstars on that team. And, you know, we kind of saw it at the Bucs too, I guess, right? They had a ton of huge names, and they just found a way to
put it all together.
Yeah, put that aside.
And come back.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, if you get down like that and a team that hasn't been together for that long, to be able to come back in a situation like that, I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty
Tom
cool.
Brady.
What?
It's the luck of the Tom Brady.
Restructure your own contract because you want him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
Exactly. But Dan Campbell here, Lions coach. He is the Grand Marshal of the Detroit Grand Prix, ready for his OTA press conference, and he's wearing a race car helmet. I'll put a picture up on the YouTube version of the pod here. He's wearing a race car helmet. And just like this guy, Ari, he's already talked about wanting an actual lion on the sidelines for practice. He asked our owner, he asked Sheila Ford Hamp for about like possibly having a lion. And like Detroit, the Lions had to actually like tweet out like, guys, it's a joke. It's a joke. He was not kidding.
It's not a joke.
Like a baby lion or like a real big lion?
So he was talking about a big lion. People were saying that he should get a baby lion, like a cub, and then like nurture it as like, so as the lions grow, metaphorically, this lion is growing with them.
No.
And it would lead them onto the top. But like,
it represents our team's success.
yeah, exactly.
Simba.
But he was serious about getting a lion. This guy has talked about biting off kneecaps, and you haven't heard any of this. Really?
I haven't been.
This is all like
stuck in my little
this
bubble
was.
for a minute.
This he really did. I mean, this is all
Iowa.
This has been all this. This guy's a character. I mean, you can understand that.
Yeah.
And so now he shows up with this race car helmet on, and the big media, they didn't take it very well. They think he's kind of a clown, and I was kind of upset. So you have guys like Pat McAfee thought it was hilarious. Part of the guys over in Barstool, part of my take, ate it up. They had him on for an interview a little while ago. They're big Dan Campbell's fans. All of these, I guess you could call them more casual type of media, right? They ate this stuff up because he's a personality and he's awesome and he fits in with that type of culture. Sure. But I mean, I love it personally. I think it's awesome. These big time media. So I was talking to him. Joy Taylor went on this. She's part of with Colin Cowherd. Is it The Herd? Is that the show?
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
This big time football show, and she's out there bashing him. And Colin Cowherd's like, who finds this funny? Dumb people. I'm like, who? First of all,
finds you funny?
Yeah,
dumb people.
Nobody. And so they're out here bashing. They're like, would Bill Belichick do this? Would this person do this? Would all these guys do this?
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Bill Belichick would do
exactly.
That.
It's Bill Belichick. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Bill Belichick wears a cutoff sweatshirt to all of his press conferences. Nobody questions it though. In the game, nobody questions it because it's Bill Belichick.
I feel like Bill Belichick has like one of those cartoon type wardrobes where like everything's the same exact thing. He just grabs it, takes a shower, grabs it, and put it right back on, and goes, okay.
Oh, that's awesome. That might be it. I mean, he's just a plain. But that's the thing. Like, he does not have personality. I mean, he does, but like not to the extent of a guy like this. He's not a personality like that. He's just not known for that. And I just think it's okay for there to be guys that break a mold. I'm totally okay with that. I don't think that people understand. First of all, is that Detroit has not had energy like this in a long time. The Lions organization has not had energy like this in a long time.
They're just haters. They don't want to see him succeed.
They really are.
Couldn't bring anybody to a Lions game.
So
I can't do it.
Oh,
it feels like a waste of money right now. Until we get a certain amount of wins, then I'll start buying tickets.
Dude, the last time I went to a Lions game was like 2 or 3 years ago. I haven't been in a while.
I went Thanksgiving
Lions games are fantastic.
3 years ago.
I think I went to a Lions and Vikings game like way back. And then Lions and Green Bay with my uncle, like way back. He ended up getting a box for his job. And yeah, it was just
every
time someone asks me like, "Oh, you from Detroit? You like the Lions, right?" I go,
no. Well, so listen to this. This is why I say like the guys love this personality. The guys on the team love this personality. The OTA attendance was 80 plus. So that, I mean, these are all organized team activities, so OTA stand for, but they're all voluntary. And usually you don't have starters and other things show up for these type of team activities. I know Bruce Arians was talking about how even if his starters showed up, they weren't even going to participate, right? And they're in a very different situation than the Lions. They're coming off a Super. I understand that completely. Yeah. But for everyone is showing out to these OTAs, and it seems like they're having a good time, and they're actually making progress. And it sounds like, obviously, the Lions are only going to report on the things that are positive and things like that. Again, I understand all of this. But for me as an outsider looking in, this is information and this type of feedback from these guys as we haven't had that in years. And we haven't had these numbers in OTAs in years. We don't have guys show up like this. And why do you show up to voluntary activities? Because you enjoy it. Because you enjoy the guys that you're with, you enjoy your coaching staff, and you enjoy the grind of being a professional athlete. Obviously, these guys all enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody like Patricia who's sucking the life out of the game,
makes it not fun anymore.
why would you show up to voluntary activities?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting. So it says over 80 players of the team's 90-man limit have reported to OTAs. It doesn't say how many, but
so
this
it says over 80.
Yeah, it says over 80.
So less than 10 are missing.
Exactly. So the Lions players released a statement to the NFLPA. They were not going to show up to voluntary workouts due to COVID-19 concerns. So maybe that's a few of them that are, I don't know. I think that might have been from like way, way earlier, but
right.
That was from April. So that was a
It kind of did like a whole like, what am I going to call it? Like a
what?
Cleared house.
Yeah.
Now it's all new guys. So I mean, like
that's true.
Maybe they're trying to get together early and get some stuff going.
Very true. Very true.
Get a
so
head
I think
start.
Yeah, so and this is like they're taking OTAs a little bit differently. Campbell said there would be no full speed 11-on-11. So it's a lot of drill work. I'm sure they do some 7-on-7 type, like passing scrimmage type things.
So everybody get used to each other.
Exactly, but there's like no full speed 11-on-11s, means no like scrimmaging or nothing like that, right? Nothing that's going to be super high intensity where you're going to have potentially guys getting hurt, things like that. And even though it is permitted, I will say, it says phase 3 of the offseason, that is permitted. They'll be doing walkthroughs and full speed 7-on-7. So there it is. Okay. So they're kind of changing the way they approach this type of thing, and if it works, it works. I guess we won't be able to see until until the season starts. But this year is nice for Dan Campbell. We actually have a preseason this year. I think we have. Is it only 2? It is still 3.
Yeah, I think it used to be 4, but I think it's 3.
Yeah, so they cut it. Yeah, so
everybody gets like the feel of the game this year. Yeah.
So they're going to have a preseason this year. I think that got cut out last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Dan Campbell, that's great. He hasn't had the opportunity to be in this head coaching role, right? So I think for him, that's just going to be kind of just an experience thing, just kind of getting a couple of games under his belt, trying to figure out what personnel that he likes, because this Lions team is going to have a bunch of new faces, like across the board, right? So I think that the preseason is going to help them out a lot. I think that'll be a really interesting dynamic for them. Last piece on the Lions talk before we move on to a little bit of NFC South and wrap up the pod. Todd Gurley. So Lions are still interested in signing running back Todd Gurley. Quote, he would be a good addition. Yeah. He's not a Detroit Lion, but basically he visited, I think it was Thursday, right? I think it was last Thursday?
It was last week sometime.
Yeah, I think so. It was last Thursday. And that could be changing soon. He said that Dan Campbell acknowledged the team remains interested in signing Gurley after the visit. And I just think this would be a really interesting pickup for us because DeAndre Swift has kind of been bred to be our guy this year. And obviously if Todd Gurley comes into the mix, that would be in jeopardy for sure, right? He's still a very talented back, even though he's kind of been out of the radar for a little bit. Yeah. Very true. If you have a stable back, it's obviously way better. So Gurley visited Allen Park last week. And, he said that this does not affect our feelings and thoughts about current running backs, DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. And he said, I think if we can sign him sooner than later, we'd like to. But look, we're not. It's not like we're going to set a deadline on it, if you will. We do have interest in the guy, but that's kind of where it is right now.
Is this article from today?
No, this is from a couple days ago, but it's a Detroit Free Press. So
I did get an ESPN alert earlier.
Did you?
About Dan Campbell confirms Lions have been in talks with Todd Gurley.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean,
he's today.
Again, Dan Campbell, transparent about all this stuff. He just lets people know. And I think part of it is just like Dan Campbell is just a straight-up dude. What he says, there's no hidden meanings. There's no second agenda that he's trying to run.
Trapdoors, none of that.
He's just a straight-up dude. And I don't think we have enough of those guys. Yeah. I really don't think so. Just say what's on your mind. And he'll back up. He obviously believes everything he says. Mm-hmm. So he'll back it up. He's not trying to, coerce anybody and do anything. So I love this.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
I don't know if you ever talked about this before, but when he got all those Ford workers to sign that hat.
No. What was that?
He had like a Lions hat. It was like right after he got hired. He went to like this like Ford like motor plant where they like make cars.
Oh,
and he had like a Lions hat, and he had all the workers like sign the hat, and he was
really?
Like, we're going to make this team good for you, basically.
That's cool.
And he's like, I'm going to put this
I didn't know that.
in my office. It reminds me of what I'm doing this for.
That's
for you
pretty cool.
guys."
No, I did not
Basically
know
along the
that.
lines of
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's what he did that.
that's sweet. Now, as far as the pickup of Gurley, how Lions are number 2 in the NFL as far as dead cap space. So right now we are struggling as far as the salary cap goes. Now, and Ari, for you, that's like money that is just sitting that we can't use. It's tied up in other players' contracts. It's tied up in other things, and we just can't use it. It's like $40 million, I believe, or something crazy. We're number 2 in the NFL, which is not good. But as we move forward, a lot of that is going to be freed up. So we'll have, and honestly, Todd Gurley is not probably going to be an insanely large contract.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't say so.
Right?
No.
The last couple of years for him have been off the grid. You know what I mean?
Got injured a little bit.
Exactly. He's been banged up, right? But we saw a guy like J.J. Watt, who's in the later half of his career, who has been banged up but still produces, right? He got paid. He got paid pretty handsomely going to Arizona. So I think, yeah, we'll still have to pay him. But between Gurley and Swift, my thing is that they're very similar in a lot of ways as far as their play style. For me, right? I just feel like their play styles, if
Swift
they
might be a little better, like pass catcher kind of guy like that.
Agreed.
Out of the backfield.
Agreed. But I think Gurley brings a lot of that too, though.
He does.
Especially in his prime, he brought a lot of that.
He did.
Yeah.
So not to say
Lot of
that he's
touchdowns.
washed or anything, right? But he's still like I said, later half of his career. Now, I just think if you have 2 complementary backs that complement each other a little bit more, that system works a lot better for me, right? You know what I mean? You have a downhill guy, then maybe you have your speed type of guy.
Yep.
I just think that dynamic works a lot better. I'm trying to think of a good example of that.
You have Fournette and Ronald Jones.
There you go. That's not a bad one right there. Those guys complement each other pretty well. Now I'm trying to think who was with Ingram was with the Saints before the Ravens, correct? So it would have been him and Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
They were there together.
Even when he went to the Ravens, it was him and
Oh, very true.
guy at Ohio State.
Gus Edwards? Or no, that's LSU. What's his name? J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good complementary backs. But I'm thinking Kamara. I'm thinking Kamara and Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
2 very different backs, 2 very different play styles. Now I think if you have 2 guys like that who complement each other's game a lot, I think the dynamic works a little bit easier. Not to say 2 running backs that have similar play styles can't succeed in the system. We have a lot of squads that do that. I talk about like a Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor are really just super athletic, just type guys in Indianapolis. So I'm interested to see if we do get him. First of all, it'll put a lot of eyes in Detroit, and there's just a lot of more attention, which I'm kind of here for. I think they might be a front runner for some hard knocks in the future. I just, with Dan Campbell and the personalities coming out of Detroit now, I think people are starting to discover that this would be a pretty interesting. And if you're a hard knocks executive, right, looking at the hard knocks type stuff, they could totally play the losing atmosphere, all this stuff. There's a whole story and narrative you can build upon this, and like coming out of this and trying to bring personality into the. I feel like there's a whole story that could be told about this organization. So if we saw that, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I'd love to see it happen. It makes sense, right? That's for me, it makes a lot of sense. But we can finish off today by talking a little bit about the NFC South. Now, Blaze, your reaction earlier. Can you explain that reaction earlier about the NFC South?
It's just like boring.
It's boring.
It's boring.
It kind of, I mean, you have 2 of the best teams in the NFC though in the NFC South.
Yeah, but like
Saints and
people
Bucks.
already know about them. Then
Okay.
you just got like the Falcons and the Panthers.
So yeah, now we have the Falcons and the Panthers, but the Panthers have been really interesting for me because they've made a lot of moves. At least on paper, they make a lot of moves, but they just haven't really produced
it's
yet.
not like it's
right?
like the opposite of the NFC West.
It's
Like,
true.
NFC West is like, oh, who's gonna come out on top?
That's
This
true.
one's like the Bucks beat down everybody, and the
How?
Saints, Bucks and Saints.
But the Saints beat them up in the regular season.
They did,
So I don't know if you can say that, right?
right? But maybe now Drew Brees is gone, so I don't know.
Yeah,
But
but
they,
Taysom Hill.
They kind
Jameis
of forced Drew
Winston.
Brees into retirement with that one.
Well, he was going to retire the year before. Remember that? And he said he was
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back,
he did, yeah.
which is ridiculous. But the Panthers, I would love to see them have a great year. I would love to see the Panthers have a great year. I like Matt Rule. So Matt Rule came out of Baylor. He was the head coach at Baylor. And that college to NFL transition for coaches usually never works out. So we're going to have Matt Rule. We're going to have Urban Meyer in Jacksonville in his first year. Matt Rule's in his second or third.
Second.
Second.
I think this year will be his second.
And then any other college? I can't really think of any. Those are the 2 that come to mind.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It would have been was Kingsbury? Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, he was.
He
when
was.
He got hired.
Yeah. So that's what I got another decent example there, but he's struggling. And he might be gone.
He might be gone.
He might be gone from Arizona because they have enough talent this year that if they don't produce, I think he's going to be gone. But the Panthers are a young squad that that reflect their head coach and that have a decent amount of potential, but just haven't really put it all together. So they have Sam Darnold, correct?
They do now.
They do now. They got through that. So Sam Darnold's on there, and he has his revenge game against the Jets pretty early in the season, I believe.
I don't know.
I want to say.
I believe you.
But, well, thank you. So new system for Sam Darnold. Is that going to be a really good thing for him? Are you a Sam Darnold guy or no?
I don't mind him.
You don't mind him?
I'm not too big into him. I don't hate him.
Sam Darnold? Yeah.
I don't really. I'm not a hater yet.
Really, the general consensus is that he's a great, talented quarterback. The system with Adam Gase in New York was just not it for him.
Terrible.
So this year is like it's a prove it year, right?
Yeah.
It's a prove it year for him. And if he comes out and has a great year, I think they could compete with the Saints for that second spot in the division.
My opinion, he came out, put it to the Lions in his first ever game.
Yeah.
And
well, the first pass was a pick. Was it pick or pick six?
Pick six.
Pick six.
After that, though.
After that.
Put it to him.
Do you remember that reaction watching that game?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, we've arrived.
Pick six. It's happening.
Dude, was that
lost by 30.
Glover Quinn?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was.
Someone who's not around anymore.
Yeah, someone who's gone.
So far, I feel like everybody who moves on from the Lions
just succeeds.
They just
right.
Feel like mashed up.
That's what we need to break. That's what we need to break, man. That's what we need to break. But
anyway, but ever since then,
yeah,
it's kind of like, hey, they were bad. Like, he didn't do so hot.
Doesn't have much help. Doesn't have much help.
One game he had said he was seeing ghosts or something. Who was that?
No, who was that? That wasn't him. I don't think so. I thought it was like Josh Allen.
I'm not gonna give him like a set opinion yet because I don't know what he can do.
But I say if he has his prove it year this year, I think they compete with the Saints because the Saints are a much more complete team, but they don't have that quarterback position figured out. And we know that a two quarterback system does not work in the NFL typically, right? And right now that's kind of what we're looking at with the Saints. We have Taysom Hill and we have Jameis Winston, right?
Right.
So
Jamo's gonna.
You think he pulls it out?
I believe in him.
He's a very much more prototypical quarterback than a Taysom Hill.
True.
And for that reason, I think Taysom Hill, he might end up starting, which is the crazy thing because his contract was huge, but all the years of his contract are voidable. I don't understand how you can set up something like that, but basically, if he stinks, they can just drop his ass.
I'm not a big Winston guy, but he can sling it.
He can sling it.
Where it goes, that's in the air. But he can sling it.
He's also had that experience too.
Yeah.
He's had that experience.
Taysom has almost no experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, the dude couldn't even see before. No wonder he was throwing 32 interceptions. He couldn't even see.
Right.
He hasn't
really played since then.
He has not. He's just been posting weird training videos about him dodging some big medicine ball and wearing these dad shorts that go down to his knees. I don't know who trains this guy, but he doesn't deserve to be paid that much.
I think back to the Panthers.
Yeah.
If you think about their offense, it's pretty good.
They have
Donald, McCaffrey. You got Curtis Samuel. You got Robbie Anderson.
Anderson's a stud.
DJ Moore.
The one who didn't know who Sir Purr was.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What do you call it? A bear?
Who's that bear up there?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, that's Sir Purr. The mascot was up there dancing around. He didn't know who it was. Right. How you get on a team and I don't know, bro. I thought that was pretty funny. You gotta
know the mascot. I didn't know our mascot for a minute. I found out his name was Pouncey the Panther.
Yeah, we got Wildcat Willie, bro.
Willie?
That name is a little
off
the
sounds
chart
weak.
I went skating on Lake Superior with Wildcat Willie.
That didn't sound too right, man.
It was fun, dude.
Sounds like some type of weird uncle.
Nah, dude, I was filming. It was pretty sweet. I was working. I don't know. It was good. But anyways, back to we haven't even talked about the Falcons.
We haven't even talked about the Falcons. Who wants to talk about
Do we need to talk about the Falcons?
No.
Matt Ryan's old. Julio's gone.
Matt Ryan is old.
They got that one guy from the Panthers, actually, the running back, Mike Davis.
They did get Mike Davis. You're right.
Yeah. Gurley's out. Mike Davis is in.
It does sound like Gurley's gone, but I just don't.
Julio's out.
The Falcons just don't do anything for me.
They do have.
Julio's going to be gone. That's what kind of the conversation is.
They do have Pitts now.
Oh, yeah, that was their top pick.
Number 4 pick.
So that's going to be I totally forgot about that. So that'll be their guy, hopefully, because they need some type of production on that offense.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's not good. Their offense has kept them in some games, but
mall cop security type defense.
I don't think they didn't really get better. They didn't really get worse. They kind of just
Kyle Pitts has been very highly rated, though, so it'll be very interesting. Now, Bucks. Are the Bucks still your favorite to come out of the NFC?
Yes.
Even if Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay?
Yes.
Really?
I thought Aaron Rodgers didn't.
You have
Didn't
to.
Aaron Rodgers say he didn't want to go back, though?
No, he didn't,
I have a
but
thing
I don't
where
know if he has any room to get out. That's the thing is it's going to cost the team too much to get rid of him, so they might just say, suck it up, Aaron, you're playing here.
I have a thing where you can't bet against the champs. Until they lose,
Yeah.
you got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I think I'd have to agree with that,
Yeah.
especially just coming out of the NFC. I'm not talking,
I'm talking
Super
like
Bowl.
any sport,
Really?
like the team who won the championship, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt until
That's a
they
good
lose.
point.
Until they lose it.
Now, who are your second runner-up? You're like maybe your dark horse.
Talking
Give me a
about
dark horse coming out
NFC?
of the NFC. Yeah. All right, think about this too. Yeah, I'd like to know this one.
You think if we think in the Washington football team's on the come up?
Okay, that was one that I was going to talk about.
Yeah, I would say the same.
I was going to say 49ers.
I'm
I'm big on the 49ers. Not a lot of people are. I don't know what's got me. I just think they're bringing a lot of people back. Yeah, I know. They're getting out the
think that she just
from out there. Yeah.
check her phone.
But the 49ers, they bring back a ton of people off the injury reserve from last year. Like a ton. I'm talking like all of their talent.
Are we talking like who's
I do
second?
wanna see
Are we
the
talking like
49ers
dark
on the
horse?
I'm talking dark horse. Dark
Okay.
horse. Yeah. Because maybe not.
49ers aren't really a dark horse. Like,
What do you mean? They're ranked last in the NFC West.
yeah, but they just won the
That's
Super Bowl. They were in the
that's a
Super Bowl
dark-
before that.
For me, that's a dark horse. If you're ranked last in your division, you might have some success.
But their whole team was hurt.
Okay, but I'm still saying.
All right.
Even with the
I'll
guys
give it
coming
to you.
back,
I'll
they're
give it
still
to you.
ranked last.
Okay, so we got 49ers,
Because you have
I feel like they can
Rams,
make a good run.
Seahawks, and
Washington football
Arizona.
team,
yeah.
Vikings.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Okay. Now, I will say that NFC North is pretty open if Aaron Rodgers does not return.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Bears.
No, I don't think you could.
I don't want to say Lions either.
I don't think the Bears have. Justin Fields is not going to be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback this year.
Not this year.
I don't care.
I feel like when he got that draft call, he didn't even really want to go. The look on his face just made him like, I
So I don't know if he's a really
QBs
big
go
like,
to
animated
die.
guy to begin with, but I'm with you. He didn't look very happy to go to Chicago.
Like, I feel like if I'm getting drafted, like I'm gonna be serious about it. I'm gonna hug the fan real fast.
But so, you got a little excitement, man. Yeah,
now I
like, you
gotta
just
be
got
all like,
drafted.
yeah, I just got drafted. I'm getting big
First
contracts,
round.
playing a sport I love.
Guaranteed money.
Yeah.
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 It was interesting.
I would say Lions, but I'm not gonna be a homie. Like
No,
that.
yeah, I'm not drinking that much Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's a good
Vikings.
list though.
I'm
Vikings,
surprised the
Washington, and
Vikings were
49ers.
as bad as they were. So
Me
I'm-
too.
I'm
But there's a
gonna-
lot of competitive games.
Yeah.
Remember when they played the Bucks? That game was incredible.
Not really, but
That game was incredible.
I do remember the final score.
There you go.
Say that one more
But
time.
I mean that's all for me. But
Yeah.
I just
They're
think
gonna-
that
they're
I
gonna
want to talk
redeem
about that.
themselves.
So and then I'll finish on this projected Lions record
Oh,
this
God.
year.
Wow.
0 and whatever.
Come
Yeah,
on.
I might have to pull it up so I can look at
I'm
it.
going to pull it up right now. Hold on. I'm pulling it
We
up right
have
now.
to. We won 5 games last year
We did win 5 games
with a crappy coach.
yeah.
And the worst defense in our entire franchise history.
All right, here we go. Opening up 49ers traveling to Detroit.
We're gonna go game by game.
Yeah, we're going to game by game.
Okay. Game 1.
There we go.
49.
49ers in Detroit.
Loss.
Loss.
Big loss.
I think I'd have to agree with that one.
Close
considering
loss.
I did just jump on the 49ers train there a little bit, so I can't just
It's
go
gonna be like
180. So
It's gonna be like, wow, the Lions gave them
I
a
say at
game.
least, like-
Have the Lions arrived?
Lions at Packers.
If
Lions in Lambeau.
with or without Rodgers.
That's the thing. We don't know.
Okay, I'm
think
gonna
it's
make the
gonna be
position
both.
with Rodgers. I'd say to be a really good game, but
I say we're winning in Lambeau.
Lions win.
I'd say we're winning in Lambeau.
Lions
Dude. The
freaking
last
win.
time I went to Lambeau, Lions were playing there. We beat them. Now Aaron Rodgers was out for like half the game, but still, that was a win.
I say I give it a win too. Yeah.
Week 3, Ravens at Lions. That's gonna probably be a no.
That's a loss. That's a
That's a loss.
definite loss.
Then we
I
go.
hate to say it.
Lamar's definitely gonna run all over. him.
Then
I'm
we
sorry.
go to Chicago. I say that's
Lions
a very
win.
winnable
Yeah,
game.
it's a-
Lions win
I'm taking that.
against a rookie quarterback.
Exactly. I say we beat up on a rookie quarterback.
I
Rookie
feel
or
like we
Andy
will for a
Dalton.
minute.
Either way.
That's true.
That's
It could
Lions
be
win.
Andy still. We don't know. It might be Andy.
Oh,
It sound like
locked
it's
on
a big
that
of
one.
a-
I'm locked
Not
on-
much of a difference.
I'm locked on that one. I'd say that's gonna. I feel like that'd be a really good game. I feel
Yeah.
like it'd be good.
Lions
I'm
at
gonna say-
Vikings. I would assume we take Vikings.
Take Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't want to take Vikings, but I'll take Vikings.
Yeah.
So what do we got? 2 and
They've
2.
had our number the last couple of years for some reason.
They have.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I'm giving the Vikings.
Dalvin
yeah,
Cook
I'm
goes
giving
for
the
like
Vikings.
200 every time. we play
Dalvin
him.
Cook carved us last time we played him.
Hey, that was
One of the touchdowns was when we had
Franchise
10 guys
worst
on the
defense.
field.
most yards allowed ever for
Was it?
Lions in a season.
So one of the touchdowns, there's only 10 players on the field for the Lions. It was bad, dude. It was really bad. So then we go Bengals at Lions. That should be a win.
That's going to be a win. I'm giving it a win.
Then we have the game of the year, October 24th, Lions in L.A. against the Rams. And I don't think you can pick the Lions.
We're smoking.
I can't pick the Lions.
We're smoking them.
Not with
No, we're getting smoked.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is going to smoke us.
Yeah, and I just
Big
think the
Donald
Rams, dude, our that defense is going to give us so many issues.
Not with Big Donald down there.
But
Imagine Jared Goff on the other
then we
side
have
of Aaron Donald now.
Eagles at Lions. I'll take us over the Eagles any day.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't think the
Jalen
Eagles are
Hurts?
talented enough. Jalen Hurts is a solid quarterback. I don't believe in their team enough. You know?
All right,
Lions
so
at Steelers.
we're 3-3.
I'm giving it to the Steelers.
We lose. We're 3-4.
I think it's a good game, though. I don't think the Steelers are going to have near the year they had last year.
No, but we're going to lose.
I mean,
Okay.
if Juju
Their
keeps
defense
dancing-
In Pittsburgh.
Their
In
defense
Pittsburgh.
is still good.
With full stadiums, supposedly. So we have to account for
Look
that.
at that.
I mean, fans do make a big difference.
Lions at Browns. That's a loss. I
That's
think
a
we can
loss.
agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bears at Lions. The
That's a
problem
win.
is, I just don't think we can sweep the Bears. I don't think we beat them twice in a year.
I don't think we
I'll
can
gi- I'll
sweep them,
give it
but I
to
say
them.
it'd be a really. I figured that'd be another really close game, but I feel like we'll come out on top on that one.
If
Yeah?
we're gonna
Yeah.
if we're gonna
Probably
split
wrong.
with them, we have to win at home.
I don't know. I
And
just
you
feel
already
like
give them the away game.
defense travels, and that's what the Bears are.
Defense travels.
And that's what the Bears are. I
Okay.
think that's a loss for the Lions.
give 'em a
I don't
win.
know. I just don't think they're going to. And then Vikings, for some reason, and that is at home, so maybe we split with the Vikings too. I could be one of those years.
I'll give us another win.
But I think I'm just going to take the loss there. I just don't. With our squad right now, it's really hard to tell. We just have so many new
I'm
pieces.
on the optimist side right
You
now.
are, and usually I am too. Lions at Broncos, I'll take that one.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Even though we're a little bit oxygen deprived in
Yeah.
Mile High Stadium, I'll still take it. And then we have Cardinals at Lions. I think that'll be really interesting. Last time we played, didn't we tie?
No, we won.
No, that might have been
We
2
tied
years
the
ago.
first
2 years
time,
ago, yeah.
Then we won the second time.
Yeah, there
I'm
you go.
giving it to the Cardinals on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm giving it to the Cardinals.
they're going to be
on that
good
Yep.
this year, but the coaching has been the big
think we
question
lose
mark
that
for
one.
them.
one. I mean, great teams led by players.
Lions, true. Lions at Falcons, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Lions at Seahawks.
We
Seahawks,
lost.
we lost that one.
Yeah, and then you finish with Packers at Lions. So that
Wow,
could
that was the
be
whole schedule.
that could be an interesting one. Yeah. So ones that stand out to me, obviously the Rams. That'll be a fun one to watch. I'm just excited for this season opener though.
I would say
Wow,
for me,
look
the
at that.
standout ones for me were definitely the Rams.
We played the Steelers in the preseason and the regular
And the
season?
regular season.
What's
You
up
know,
with that?
I don't think we usually have that type
Is
of
that
stuff, do
allowed?
we? I don't know. I don't think you usually have that. But
Those Steelers Colts, so we'll be ready.
yeah, we're gonna have some good competition in the preseason. But I think that's all we've got for today. I know it's been kind of this episode's been all over the place. Didn't have notes set up like I usually do, but it was good. It was a good time just talking a little football. Ari,
We got through.
thank you for coming through it. Yeah.
We don't need
Appreciate that.
notes. We got
Appreciate the
knowledge.
We do have knowledge, bro. We have our opinions. We've been drinking the Kool-Aid about the Lions, but
Yeah, we have.
if for some reason you still have made it all the way this far in the episode, thank you. And tell somebody about the podcast. Appreciate it. Let me know what guests you'd like to have on. Have us on in the future. Excuse me. And
Brain fart.
yeah, I've had a few of those, dude. It's one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights. But thank you so much, and have a great weekend.